Hello, everybody. Tommy here from Sweden. I hope my English is okay and you can hear what I say, but I don't speak English so much anymore, but once in a while.
There's an intro for you. Welcome back, everybody, to Legacy Battle. I am Michael Adams, my co-host tonight from the Gridiron Battle Zone, Brian King, Steelers Nation South, Rollo Cawthon. We have a career interview for you here. We are joined by a former NHL goalie with the Flyers and the Islanders, represented Team Sweden 3 times at the World Championships, winning 2 golds and a silver. Also represented Team Sweden there in 1994 Winter Olympics, which I have a question about that a little bit later. So we want to welcome goalie Tommy Soderstrom. Thank you so much for coming on, Tommy.
Thank you very much. But I need to correct you right away because I wasn't there in 94. It was
No?
Salo.
Oh, I thought you were the backup.
No, I was in America then, and we were not allowed. The NHL player was not allowed 94. I was there 92
Oh,
and 98.
92 and 98. Okay,
Yeah,
98.
but it
All
was
right,
two
there we go.
shitty tournaments because 92 we lost in the quarterfinals and 98 quarterfinals also. But 98 I was a backup, so it was solid. And we lost to the
Okay.
Finns. So it was like a food trip. I call that tournament for my food trip. I become to like sushi then because it was in Nagano, so that was a good thing.
Nagano, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, let's jump into our questions here. Brian, start us off.
All right. So, Tommy, you were born in Stockholm, Sweden, back in 1969, and eventually made your way onto the Djurgårdens junior hockey club. So, how were you introduced to the game of hockey, and what were those early days like with that very successful club?
I was introduced by a friend's father. We play street hockey on the street, and I was a goalie, and they just had one goalie on the team when I was like maybe 9 or 10 in my small little town called Älta outside Stockholm. So I started like the last practice on the season there, and then I liked it. So I've been a goalie all along because I was small and no muscles. So it fits me pretty good. But then I come to Djurgården when I was maybe 14, 15, and then worked my way up to the first team in Djurgården, and then I come to the national team, and after that I come to NHL. So I enjoyed my time, and I had a lot of luck because when I come up my first year in Djurgården, the season after, the first goalie, Riddervall, he quit and he went to another club. So they take a chance on me when I was like 20 or 21. So and we won the cup, like Swedish cup that season. So you need to have a lot of luck and a little talent and work hard, and then you see where you can go.
Nice.
Tommy, you were born and raised in Sweden. You wound up coming over here in the States to play professionally. Who helped you acclimate to the States, and how did you learn to speak English?
Yeah, that's a tough one because when I come over to the States, I had like 2 years, like in what do you say in America? Is that college when you're 16, 17? And I was so bad on English, and so I just picked up words here and there, and then eventually I started dreaming English. But it took a while for me to really be good on English when I come over, and but I loved it in Philly. I loved my time there. So I was over like 3 weeks before training camp. They told me to come over, but when I come over, it was just me. So a guy picked me up to the from the hotel to the practice rink, and then Bill Barber, he shots on me on the practice, just him and me. So it was a tough start, but I liked it.
So, Tommy, as you said, you rep Team Sweden at the Ice Hockey World Championships in 1991, 92, 93, winning it all in both 91 and 92. In 1992 especially, you did a really nice job in net, 2 shutouts and a 1.40 goals against average. So what was it like in those tournaments, and what was so special about Team Sweden during those years?
We had a really good coach. Like his name was Connie Evanson. He was a great guy, and everybody respected him. And we had a lot of players 91, and some young. Sundin was on the team 91, and 92. Forsberg was on the team. I was pretty young also, but for me it was really fun to play for the national team. And like you said, I had a good tournament 92, 91. I didn't play. I just played one game. By 92, I played a lot of games, and I got MVP for the tournament for goalie. And but then I come over to the training camp to the Flyers, and my first game on the preseason we played against Quebec, and Mats Sundin was there, and I got pulled after 10 goals. So I figure out. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Excuse my language, but am I so bad? Like 6 months before or 5 months before, I was MVP at the national world championship. So it took a while to, what do you say in English, to not accomplish, adjust to the rinks in America.
That is a perfect segue into my first question. 92, 93, you make the jump from the Sweden League to the NHL. Like, what was that transition like on the ice? And do you think the Flyers, maybe not being a very good team at that time, during that season, maybe could have brought you along a little slower and given you some time to work it out in the minors, the American style and game?
I don't know if we were not a really good team. I give you that. And when I come over, I got my problems with my heart. So I had like a couple of surgeries in the beginning of the season. So I started my way in Hershey. So I think I played like 7 games or something. But then one of the goalies get hurt in Flyers, so they called me up a couple of weeks before Christmas. And I remember my first game. It was I think it was December 18, 92, and we play home against Pittsburgh, but we lost 5-4. But I think I started like 21 games from that game. And I think that's some kind of a record maybe in Philadelphia, when a rookie starts his first game and then he's keep going for 18 or 20 games. So and I remember Mark Recchi come to me on practice one day. He said, like, "Tommy, you need to take a day off because you play so much every game." And I said, "I can't do that because it doesn't look good to the teammates. And in Sweden, we don't do favors for special for different players." So I said, no, I can't take a day off. I want to practice every day. So and we had a really good coach then, Bill Deneen, and I liked him a lot. He was like a father.
So, Tommy, you just mentioned it. Your first career NHL start came on December 17th, 1992.
Was it 17? Okay.
Yeah. You were with the Flyers, and you had to take on that incredible Pittsburgh Penguins lineup, which included Mario Lemieux, Jaromir Jagr, Rick Tocchet, Larry Murphy, Ron Francis. So what are you feeling before the game, knowing their reputation and knowing that this is your first time doing it at the pro level?
Yeah, I didn't actually know what to expect because I just heard about these guys. But like I talked before the show here, I hated to play against Pittsburgh because when they had a power play, they're gonna score or whatever, and it was a tough team to play against. I can tell you that. And I remember after maybe 10 minutes, it was a home game. It was a big fight, and all the gloves were in my zone, and I thought for myself, this is a dream come true, because I like to see fights on ice, and I'm a little old-fashioned there, so it was fun. We lost 5-4, but it was okay.
Tommy, most NHL goalies are in between the 6 foot, 6'3" range. You were just a little bit under that when you played and you found your success. Was playing smaller, how did you find success, and was being smaller a motivating factor in your success?
Yeah, for me, like I used to say these days, if I come up like 2023 or 2020, I could never been a goalie or never come to NHL because all the guys now there are so big and pads are so big. So for me, it was lucky that I was born in '69. So I could come to, because then in NHL we had like Kelly Rudy was a small guy. I was a small guy, but I don't see myself like a successful goalie in NHL because I wasn't good enough to play all the time. I had a good season my first and my third season, but other than that, I was like just average or below average. But like I said, a small goalie then it was okay. And my biggest advantage was that I was quick and I had fast feet. So I liked the breakaways because out and then back into the net with them. And but when there was a lot of traffic in front of the net, I had bigger problems. And I was really bad to pass the puck, shoot the puck. Like I was not Hextall, I could tell you that.
So that rookie season, you were fantastic. 20 wins, 5 shutouts, an above 500 record on a team that was under 500. So what went right for you that year coming in? And I just want to know, like, how good was rookie Eric Lindros? You got to face him in practice every day.
It was phenomenal and awesome. And he had a lot of pressure on him to come in because the trade they did to get him. And I think he was tremendous, and he had a lot of good years there. And but for me, it's my third season. I get traded to the Islanders, and I had a pretty good season there. And I was a little unlucky because the coach say I go home like on a Tuesday after the season. The coach called me for a meeting on around lunch, and he said to me, Tommy, next season I'm going to start with you. You're going to be the #1 guy to go to. So you just go home, practice hard, and come back in good shape. And I said, oh, perfect. And I went to the airport like in the afternoon, fly back to Sweden, landed in the morning, bought the newspaper, and in the newspaper in Sweden it said Islanders coach just got fired. So but like I used to say, if I was really good enough, it shouldn't matter which coach I had. But you know, like a goalie, you need to have the support from the coach, and I thought I had that from that coach. And the same with like Bill Deneen. So I was a little unlucky there, but it was, if I was a better goalie, it shouldn't matter which coach I had. So, but like my first season was really, really fun. And like you said, I think I had like 5 shutouts. I think just Ed Belfour had 6 that year. And I just played half the season because I think I played like 40 games or 42 or something like that. So, but my second season, I signed a 4-year deal. And then everything went south. So I had a really, what do you say, sophomore jinx?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I couldn't stop a beach ball that season. So that was bad.
Well, March 2nd, 1993, you pick up a victory against the Penguins that you mentioned earlier, but you were a part of NHL history, a moment of, one of the biggest goals in NHL history. I understand that you gave it up, but I just kind of wanted to hear your point of view. That is the game Mario Lemieux returned from cancer. Yeah, I guess he had treatment earlier that morning. His final treatment, shows up for the game against Philly, gets a goal. From your perspective as being the goalie, just kind of like, walk me through like what's going through the Flyers' mind, knowing that Mario is coming back after cancer. I saw the Flyers fans gave him a standing ovation before the game, just pure class.
Yeah, I just gonna mention that because when he come in to warm up, like the fans was so crazy before the game when he come in and they cheered him and stuff. So that was a big moment for everybody, I guess. And he was I think he's the best player I ever met, even if I met Gretzky and Lemieux, Jagger. And I think Lemieux is the best. And I think I'm in the history books also because I think he scored 500 goal on me.
Oh, with the Islanders. Yeah.
The Islanders. Yeah, I think he had a hat trick that game. If I remember right, I think we lost like 7-5, or I don't remember. I think he scored 3 goals, and one of them was the 500. So, but he deserves it. So,
Tommy, in September of 1994, you were dealt from Philadelphia to the New York Islanders in exchange for a draft pick and then former Flyers goaltender Ron Hextall. So, did you know that trade was coming, and what was your initial reaction to that trade?
no, I was actually it was right of the blue because we had a pre-game practice. We're gonna play some team on the afternoon, in the evening. So I was there on the morning, went home, gonna have a sleep, and then the phone rings. It was like, "Hi, this is Bobby Clark. How are you doing?" I didn't get it right away. I was, "Why is he calling me now?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm sorry, Tommy, but we're gonna let you go, and we have traded you to the Islanders." And Don Malone, the GM in Ireland, is going to call you in like 30 minutes. So just stay on the phone, close to the phone. Thank you for this time. And you can come and pick up your stuff before tonight's game. So it was a shock for me because I really loved it in Philly, and I had friends outside hockey, and but that's the way the game goes. And I remember one of the owners, I think that was the name. They called me also and said that, "Tommy, I heard you got traded, and sorry to hear that, but blah blah blah." So that was a nice gesture. And what I heard, that owners rarely call players to say goodbye, especially if you don't have played so many years. But that warmed my heart. So, but I come to the Islanders, and that was not the same for me to play there. I liked it there also, but in Philly, it was everything around me was much easier. So, but
So
it's a part of the game to be traded.
Right.
So, as you said earlier, you were a part of the Olympic team. I think it's probably every athlete's dream to represent their country there on the. It's really the biggest stage of sports because it's broadcast worldwide. Everybody gets to see it. So, I mean, what did that mean to you to finally to get out there for an Olympics game? You know, they weren't always letting NHL players do that.
Yeah, of course, it's Olympic is very big, but I think the Olympics for Americans is much bigger than it is for Swedish people. For you, it's like the absolute the biggest. It's really big in Sweden also, but for me, it was like the world champion is also really big. And when I was there in '92, it was no NHL players, so. 98, it was NHL players, but so that was much bigger than 92, actually. And but like I said, we sucked 92 and we sucked 98. But 98, I was not involved because I was just on the bench, so you can't blame me there. There was a food trip in Nagano.
Good, Rollo.
Tommy, we just watched the Four Nations tournament that was held in lieu of the NHL All-Star game. Did you watch any of the games? And if you did, what did you think of the format going forward?
What you said? What did you think about?
What did you think of if you watched any of the games? What do you think of the format?
The format. Okay, yeah. I saw a little. I think I saw just one period, and for me, it's like just 4 teams. I think it's like not a ridiculous tournament, but I don't get it when it's just 4 teams. I played like Canada Cup '91, and for me then it was I was playing in Sweden and come over to Toronto and played. It was so big, and but I think 4 teams for me that's it's too. I think it should be at least 6 teams. Like Russia, I know that it's a tense question right now, but maybe Czechoslovakia should have a team, or I don't know, whatever, some Europe, or like you had 2016, then it was much more teams. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think about the format?
I mean,
I thought it was great. I thought it was great. I thought, especially the last two games with Canada and US, I mean, it was must see TV. So I think, like you said, I think it should be expanded a little bit, a couple more
Yeah.
teams, but I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I agree. Expand it, 2 more teams at least, and I think it's finally something forward of getting rid of the ridiculous All-Star game, which All-Star games in general have kind of lost their luster. It's a past thing. Like it doesn't work anymore, especially the skills competition stuff beforehand. It's just the same things every year. And so, yeah,
if you ask the players, I think they should love to have it, like, instead of, like you said, instead of the All-Star, they have, like, if you have 6 teams, when Russia is allowed and Czechoslovakia, I don't know, and but it must be I saw a little bit. I don't remember which game I saw, but it must be really big in US and Canada, these games against US and Canadians, especially now when Trump is the way he is, and Canada hates him, and it's tense that way also. So yeah.
4 fights in the first 19 seconds or something. It was an incredible.
That was really fun. That was really fun.
Well, thank you, Tommy, so much for joining us. Really enjoyed speaking with you.
Thank you for having me, and hope you have a great couple of months in the NHL playoffs, and see who's going to win this year.
Absolutely. I remind everybody, hit that like, subscribe, notification button, whatever you're listening on. We'll see you all next time. Have a great night.